Welcome to Carlton TV. We're in the Brian Dennett suite. This suite is a special suite, obviously in the name of Brian, but also the fact that Boatsy and Josh do their Christmas Day interview here exclusively with the Christmas tree on Christmas Day. So we only use this room for big announcements, and I'm glad to say we've got one today. Welcome to the new club captain.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, mate. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's good. Obviously, I've been here a fair few years now.
7, is it?
Trying
to work it out yourself.
It might be 7, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've seen a lot of things change. I mean, look, the club's where we are. I mean, we're probably in a league we don't want to be in. We're probably in a playing situation at the end of last season where we don't want to be in, and I'm hoping, as a collective, from everyone on board, from players to management to committee to supporters, you know, we can all try and change that for the better, and once again start competing at the right end of the table and start competing in cup competitions a lot more as well. So yeah, I'm excited. A lot to do, as you'd expect, but that's part of it, isn't it, really?
I think one thing we're going to try and do as a club this season, Niall, is embrace the league. I think, if I'm honest, I, as chairman, got such a negative feedback at the end of last season, not last season, obviously the season before, when we won the Senior Cup, everybody was on a high, and then when we got told we were in the East League, from the managers to the players to the supporters, it was very negatively taken, and I think we've resigned ourselves to the fact that we're going to be in this league again this season, and I think rather than start on a negative footing, which is what we did last year, if we're honest, because we were that disappointed, I think this year we've gone in with the attitude of trying to embrace it. The ironical thing is that one of those long midweek journeys was the actual game that turned your season round, wasn't it? Or our season round.
Yeah.
Can you, what's your memories of that?
Away on the Tuesday, I mean, we had it cancelled twice, probably pre-Christmas, one in January, I think, and I think, you know, signed Charlie and Trokey just before that game, which, you know, did make a massive difference to the lads from a morale point of view, bringing lads in who are of good quality to the team, and, you know, we went up there against a team that were third in the table at the time, and on the day we were by far the better side, and we come away 2-0 winners, and it kind of justifies the trip up there. I mean, look, we weren't overly happy about travelling all the way up north every other weekend, but at the same time, there's a lot of good clubs up north and a lot of good people, and I think, you know, there's a lot of good sides as well. So from a competitive point of view for players, it should be a good thing, because you're playing in probably the most competitive league. You know, it's a tough standard. You look at some of the clubs that were unfortunate enough to get relegated, and luckily we were able to survive it last season. And you think, well, a lot of these teams could compete a lot higher in the table, maybe in the Midlands League that we've been in previously. So you look at the turn of the season, I think Hebburn away, you'd probably say was the turning point. We went on a great run.
Did you believe we'd go down? What was the mood like in the dressing room?
To be honest,
the room came from nowhere.
I think the lads. There was a point we were struggling, and I can say that was probably Sheffield away, when they were down to 10 men and we couldn't break them down. To be fair, on the day they did a job on us. They came away with a point, and they did a job on us with 10 men, and we couldn't break them down. We probably thought, okay, if we're struggling to get 3 points against 10 men for so long, you know, it's not looking good. But I mean, after the Hebburn game, I mean, for some reason we went away to Hebburn, and we were like, I fancy us getting 3 points today. And then after that, it was kind of just roll on.
It was. I was at the Grantham game away where we scored a late goal. The Cleethorpes one away where we played really well, and we won that one. And the Workshop one I went to away, which we lost. But other than that, I think the run was. And then on the last day of the season, we were playing the team. We were playing. I think if they'd won from memory, they would have got into the playoffs. So another massive game. I mean, obviously at the final whistle there, even then we weren't 100% sure that we'd. I mean, it was a celebration after the game, wasn't it?
I think regardless, I think you know, for the players, it was to see how much it meant to
Absolutely.
season shows that the club's come a long way in the time I've been here. You know, the numbers of people that come down and you know, they voice their opinion and they're passionate about the team doing well shows how far the club's going in the right direction. I mean, you know, on the pitch last year, maybe where we were in the table is not a reflection of how far the club has come and the direction we're trying to take it in. And that's for us as players and a management team to sit down and say, okay, we didn't get things right last year. What can we do and change, and what can we like update ourselves and get ourselves competitive this year? So I mean, look, you know, you look at the Hebburn game. There may not have been a load of Carlton fans there, but they were louder than everyone who was there from Hebburn, and that was at -6 in February or whenever it was. So, you know, I think from a player's point of view, there was that certain level of relief because it was a tough season. There's no doubt about it. You know, we're our fair share of injuries, suspensions, as much as anyone else.
That brings me on. I obviously want to just have a look forward to you to next season quickly, but also it'd be amiss of me not to mention your fantastic goal. I know we've touched on it before when you spoke to Josh, but your memories of that goal, and also the Pontefract situation. I mean, obviously we know you came back from the injury quickly after the long-eaten injury, but I was sat at home. I didn't go to the Pontefract one. And as soon as I said somebody was in a bad way, I just said to my missus, that'll be Niall. She said, how do you know that? I said, it just will be. And it was.
Yeah.
So, first of all, your goal, what do you remember about that? And secondly, just your memory of the Pontefract situation.
For the Hebburn goal, the only thing I ever remember is picking the ball up and Andy Norwood screaming, you've got to keep hold of it.
Yeah, which you did.
Which I thought, I better look after it then. And then Trokey almost getting in my way. But apart from that, that's, you know, it's one of those things where it just happens, and then you worry about it later. But in terms of, like, you know, the injury was a bit of a freak. I've had a fair share of injuries just in the 12 months really. But yeah, the injury itself was a bit of a freak. It wasn't my finest Tuesday night. And you know, it's one of those where realistically, it was at the end of the season. I only missed the last couple of games or so. It wasn't the end of the world, and you know, they got the summer to kind of rest up and recuperate.
And we went back up there, and I think the vital goal late on from Watson helped us get a point, which actually proved pivotal at the end of the day.
So, you know,
these things perhaps happen for a reason, mate.
Yeah, it just always seems to happen to me at the moment. But hey, you know, this is what I mean. Like, you know, these things happen. There always seem to be freaks, but it just seems to have been my luck at the moment. But you know, looking forward to next season. I
was just going to say, I've just spoke to Tommy and Mark, and I'm obviously aware of what's, you know, they're talking to players at the minute. We're obviously aware one or two's moved on. I'm absolutely delighted you've stayed with us. I've known you, say you've been with us. You've worked for me as well, which so we've got a good relationship from that perspective, and I'm personally delighted you're staying, and even happier that Tommy and Mark have made you captain. I think that's a fantastic move, and I understand Carl Sargent's going to be vice captain, and if either of you are out or whatever, I think Dan Brown's and the next man in line step up to the plate. So it looks as though Tommy and Mark have, you know, the three of you have decided to commit and stay, which is brilliant for us. But also the fact is that you're making up a new look team. What's your perspective on that? And have you got your own ideas in terms of the captaincy?
We've all got a few ideas. You know, we've chatted a fair bit, but I mean, I've been here long enough. I've played with some really good lads, and some lads who have had quite a big impact on me, who have been captain of this football club before.
Right.
You know, your Ballies and whatnot. So it's not really me implementing any new ideas as a captain. It's just, you know, we're going to bring in new players. It's how the group of us who have been here, you know, the last season, seasons prior, can influence them to show what we're about and where we need to be. Really, I don't think it's just going to be on me as a captain. I think, you know, Brownie's been a pivotal part of our season last year and seasons before and everything, and probably saved us from numerous things defensively. And you know, he's an example example of someone who looks after himself and does everything right, and that's bang on. And with regards to Sarge, I mean, Sarge is a massive part of the football club and what it represents, and you know that tackle he made last home game of the season could essentially keep us in the league, even if he did then go and try and give away a penalty in the second half. But we don't need to talk too much about that. But I mean, I think like as a collective of the lads that are staying, it's not just about me or Sarge or Brown. It's, you know, Spike as well. Spike's been around some great teams, and it's like, lads who have been here, what can we show the new lads that are coming in about the way we want to play, the way we want to work, the way to go about, you know, treating the football club, because the football club as a whole is, you know, it's the people here, not just about the players and the management. It's about everyone, and that's why, you know, people like Boatsy and everyone all the work he's done needs to be shown, to be appreciated by what we do on the pitch and what we do off the pitch. So yeah, I think it's not me coming in as a captain to bring in new ideas. It's just about us as a collective showing everyone, you know, the best way to be around the football club.
Brilliant. And have you, just to finish off, have you a message for the supporters as you accept the honour of being captain of the club?
Yeah, well, I hope to not, you know, cause any further angst with any further injuries. But you know, everyone was brilliant to us all year last year. But it does mean a hell of a lot to all the lads. You know,
The fans didn't turn, did they?
No, especially when we're like, you know, like Cleethorpes away game. That was a great day. We took so many people, and everyone was so loud and vocal, and even the mini millers were there, and you know, it's fantastic for everyone, and that's what everyone wants. If you're playing, you know, you're playing football at this level, you want to be representing people, and you want to be, you want to, you know, please people, and that's by performances on the pitch, and it's also results. But it's also, you know, speaking to them off the pitch and having that relationship with them. And I think what is going on now at the football club with the supporters club is growing every season since I've been here, and you know, it's been a test. I think the end of the season last year, I know obviously we couldn't get over the line in the cup final, but the staying up level is as much of a testament to them as it is as players and the management team. And as long as everyone is aware that how much it means to us, then the only way is going forward, really.
Well said, mate.
Right.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant.
Cheers.